Vardwell, and welcome to another exciting episode of my Game Development Livestream. Today, once again, we're working on Sara the Shieldmage. It's a Eastern-style RPG that I'm developing in Unity. And, well, I always like to start my broadcasts off by showing you, well, what I've been working on for the past week. So, first things first, we've got this sort of generic-looking scene. This is going to actually be the Church of the Goddess. It's going to be in every town in the game. And this is going to be where you go when someone gets killed. There's going to be like a priest and an altar right here. Uh, Zoom in a little bit for you guys. There's going to be some stained glass windows with some pretty sun rays. Maybe some pews, couple of books scattered around, some candelabra. It'll look like a church when I'm done with it. Trust me. There's also these staircases. I'm going to be building a basement. Whoa, that part's behind the GUI thing. Yeah, there's going to be a basement, and that's where most of like the I would call them skill trainers if this were an MMO. There's going to be ways of modifying what four abilities your characters take into battle, and well, you'll always find these downstairs. One of the first things I'm going to do when the game starts up is send you down to these basements and introduce you to those skill users, those skill objects. There's going to be all sorts of ways you gain skills. I've been working pretty hard on designing those, but that's going to be another topic for another time. It's rest assured, viewers, you'll be seeing the fruits of those labors soon. Um, Let me also show you what else I've been working on too. Let me see. Generic shop. Yeah. So, yeah, we've got the generic shop level that I was working on a few times. It doesn't seem very different, but well, it is. We've got this brand new item called a object placer. This is that legendary script that just throws objects into the game scene from some data that I've been talking about for a long time, but never actually showed to you guys. Let me go ahead and show you what some of that data look. Actually, I could show you the script. There's not a whole lot to it. It just reads a JSON blob. I'm using simple JSON, and pretty much all it does is it looks for a source scene, and then a whole bunch of things, and then a whole bunch of map objects, which is one to any number of objects, positions, and rotations. One of the other things you'll have noticed I did too was I revised a lot of things out into this resources folder. That way, well, there are a couple of reasons for this. Not only so that the object placer script can interact with them, but also so that if a user wants to mod the game, like if you decide my brick wall textures in the final version aren't to your liking, well, you can do something about those. And I think it's important for players to customize the game to their liking. Just one of those things that good games typically do. So I'm going to allow it. But yeah, that's most of what I was working. Oh yeah, there were some other things. Let me see, where were they? I think they were in Nuria Castle. Yeah. So yeah, I've been working a little bit more on Nuria Castle. I've got some sword racks. I've got crates. I've got some really horrible barrels. I'm gonna do something about these barrels. Probably when I get to my polishing phase of the game. Um, yeah, I've been working on adding just oh, let me go into perspective mode so I can fly in for you guys. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on in this, I think. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. Um, Yeah, so what we're going to be working on today, there's a couple of just a couple of bits that I still have to do. Um, I'm thinking one of the first things that it's going to be mostly an art-based episode. If you were wondering, I'm going to go ahead and do up some counters for the shop scene. That's one of really the last static things that has to be done to this scene. Everything else is going to be provided by the data blobs. I'm actually going to remove this shopkeeper from the scene, and I'm going to show you guys on camera um, how I'm going to go about including NPCs and stuff in these sort of adaptive scenes, and it's going to be pretty easy. You guys are probably going to like it. Another thing I might start doing on screen too. Almost certainly have the time because most of these things don't take a terribly long time to do. Is I'm going to be modifying the conversation system on screen because I know art stuff isn't enough to keep you guys interested for too long. Um, I'm going to be modifying the conversation system to sort of account for some other triggers. Um, sort of, I've got a good idea of the way that's going to work, but well, no coding problem survives first contact with implementation. So we'll get to see it together, and I'm sure it'll be entertaining. It always is. Anyways, yeah, we have our marching orders, so let's get started. And I'm getting a text from mom. Go figure. Let me go ahead and start by getting my viewport set up. Okay. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I have a family that lives with me, and well, sometimes schedules don't quite align as well as I would like. So this right here is going to be the cube that forms our legendary countertops. Let's see. I think it's good. Actually, I need to. Okay, this is going to be more. This is probably a bad way of illustrating it, but sort of this is how we're going to have to do this. I think I'm going to go ahead and do 6 yeah, 0.4 minus, so that's about 0.6. Then I'm going to extrude it by 1. Yeah. Okay, so what I need to do then, go, GZ point 1 minus. Then I'm simply going to extrude that by 0.1. That's going to be one of my objects. That's going to be a straight counterface. Straight. And then this is where stuff's going to get whack. By the way, I never used that phrase in day-to-day life. And why won't the recent? Okay, fine. Blender's being a butthole tonight. It's cool. I'll just get to it the hard way. Oh wait, I have that. Oh wait, I know why Blender's being a butthole tonight because I moved everything around. Yeah, that would do it. Okay, so it's going to be doodad counter. Yeah, what I'm going to be doing is something I haven't actually done a whole lot in this project. I'm going to be having multiple game objects in the same in the same whoa, the same file. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and move this one over to the side, but this one is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to have a couple of variations that are going to be necessary. And one of them is going to be this sort of left counter. Extrude point 1, then yeah, oh, 0.025. Yeah, this is going to get a little bit persnickety with the measurements, but yeah. I think I also, yeah, it's kind of a hard corner. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this the easy way for you guys on screen. Yeah, one of the things I was told actually, as a result of all of my messing around with this, is that there's actually an easy way to do face selection. There's this little face select button there, and I can use that. So I appreciate. Oh wait, smooth, yeah, smooth. Okay, there we go. Now go ahead and I'll go ahead and do the same thing to this. Smooth. Okay. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have a flat texture on that surface. So it'll be kind of easy to keep track of. And I'm just going to do mostly the same thing over on this side. So, except I'm not going to mess it up. Okay, and that should do it. So yeah, we've got 3 countertops. Let me go ahead and do the naming on this one. Okay, so that's that. So now is where things are going to get even more whack than they were before. Not only am I going the extra mile of having multiple things within the same document, I can do one better. I can have everything, if I really want to, I can have everything on the same texture. And that's actually a recommended way to do it, because one of the cool things about Unity is it handles a single big object a lot better than it does a whole bunch of little objects. So I'm going to be doing it that way. Let me go ahead and set up a wood texture though. Let's see, go ahead and get a nice dark color there. And another thing that just occurred to me is I can't actually see my my Twitch comments. I was negligent in my setup. How dare I do that? Okay, so this is a very flat, ugly version of what the counter is going to look like. We get rid of this camera and this light source. I'm going to be using just environmental lighting for the baking process. Okay, so yeah. Alright, now things are going to get even more whack than before. To go to UV editing mode. Normally I would just unwrap everything right here, but nah, that's not going to work. Yeah, I think a 1024 pixel bitmap is just fine. Okay. Go ahead and do that, and then see, 520, no, that's too far, 256, GY, and then I'll do 256 that way too. So that's the left corner. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing here. No. Counters. Good mapper. 6. There we go. And finally, I'm going to unwrap this guy. Alright, so all three of these counter components are now living on the same texture. So that was different. Get a feeling I'm forgetting something, but I'm sure it's not important. Okay, so I need properties and bake. Let's see what we get. Texture mode. Hey, could be worse. So this is about the view we're going to see in game, and that looks good to me. I think we can live with that. I don't foresee that causing much, if any, consternation. Yeah, okay. Let's see how Unity takes the good news. Let's see, doodads. Get rid of that backup file. I don't need no backup file. Okay, counters. Oh, right, I didn't actually save the image. That's what I was forgetting. Okay, let's try this again. With slightly less fail. Okay, and that's not going to matter because we're just using a unlit texture. The next thing, always got to, for these inanimate objects, have to take out their animations. Very important. Counter. Oh, I get it. It's just duplicating that for some reason. Let's see. So if I make it unlit. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just delete this old one. I'll use this one from now. Yeah. Bush and... Oh, yeah, I also did those. But you don't want to see them. Seriously, you don't want to see them. They're kind of terrible. I guess you do want to see them. I shouldn't have to suffer alone. Here you go. Let's see it. Okay, so another thing I worked on too is, I'm sorry to break it up on you guys. Yeah, I've been working on the Solumeria Woods a little bit, as you can see. Now, the reason I'm not going more into this scene, though, is because I have a hell of a lot of work to do. This thing is nowhere near ready. If I run the scene, I'll show you why. And no, it's not because those bushes and rocks are horrible, though that's part of it. I'm actually going to be buying assets to get around that. Yeah, you see I've got all these line of sight breaks all over the place. Yeah, I need to do something about that. Oh yeah, something else I wanted to show too. This is going to be about the area where my sort of Odin fight is. He's going to be guarding this vault right here, which is going to have a couple of useful end-game items in it. It's one of those things, sort of like the end of Final Fantasy, the second half of Final Fantasy VI, where you just sort of go around the world and you can go to do all these extra, completely optional things, but there are things that make you ready for the final dungeon. Yeah, that's sort of the effect I'm going for. I was trying to make this look a little, well, trying to make this look a little bit like like an ancient temple, because that's sort of what I have going on with it. This wall is actually going to be a little bit inspired by Skyrim. I really like the idea of having word walls. So one of the mechanics in the game is actually going to, for one of the characters, is going to involve finding ancient walls which will be inscribed with words, but one of those words is a word of power, and when you find it, you unlock a new ability radical that you can combine with other radicals that you already know in order to get more abilities. And these magic using characters like Sara and Veronica, they're going to come with a couple of radicals by default, and that'll be why they have one of their spells. All characters are, well, Veronica's going to have an additional one because she has everything she has is magic. Sarah's basic attack is always there. You can rely on her shield bash pretty much. So yeah, I think I've gotten suitably off topic for the evening. Let's get back to that shop because we need to get this stuff in the game. Counters. Okay, so we're gonna have two objects. We're gonna have straight. Actually, screw it. Delete that. We're just gonna have counters because it's all on the same texture anyhow. That's the beautiful thing about doing it this way is you get all sorts of performance gains, especially when you do the manual mesh batching that I do. So counters. Here we go. All right. So all I have to do now is just add the meshes. So let's do that, and let's delete that. But first, we have to unpack them. You also have to do some other minor processing on these. For one thing, do that. For another thing, we kill that prefab connection. Let's see. This we're going to go ahead and add box colliders to all of these, because it would be really silly if you could just walk through a counter. Sort of would defeat the purpose a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and reserve a prefab for these so that we can reuse them anytime we want. Yeah, it's going to be a domestic. These are going to be domestic doodads too. It's going to be a straight counter. Okay, so counter. Just occurred to me that I named my prefabs funny. Oh well, I can fix that. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Let's just go ahead and dump all of these into the object. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So let's see my. Okay, so these are actually needing to be rotated a full 180 degrees for starters. That's cool. That's easy. Okay. Which means this is going to have to be shuffled like so. Then this one, this is where things will get even more interesting. So we've got this guy here. Let's get negative 90. No, 90. There we go. Okay. 2 point. That. Then we'll take these guys, move them over here. Flip both of them to negative 90. negative 2.1. And voila. There we go. Now, the big question, though, is will shopkeeper's trigger extends beyond this so that you can actually go up and buy stuff from him. Let's do that right quick. Oh yeah, I also worked on the music. Okay, that's enough. I also worked on the music for the church too. Man, I got a lot done this past week, and I just totally blew how I showed it. Oh, I also forgot to turn on Twitch. Actually, you know what? Chatty. Let's see how chat's doing. I mean, I don't have a huge following, but it is a good idea to. Oh crap, that's right. Yeah, well, I'll do that later. Because there was the whole Twitch data breach this last week, and I was one of the users affected. I think every Twitch user was affected. Come to think about it. Right, though. Okay, well, let me get back on topic. So, shop is taken care of. I've got counters. Actually, let me see how the metrics are doing. So it looks like we have 35 draw calls. Not bad. My random chair, this is actually being loaded by data right now. Okay. And that's placeholder music, so it occurs to me I could do that better, so I think I will. Right. Oh. That was cool. Alright, so I've got the counters taken care of. It's 9 o'clock. We've got plenty of time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and make this shop a little bit more interesting. As I mentioned at the start of the video, one of the things I worked on was this sort of item shop thing. It just lives right here. So one of the things I need to do is I need to go ahead and create a few more items. Now, let's see, that's my framework. Let me get to my game-specific assets. Now, one of the reasons that I stuck the data for the locales inside of the game-specific assets and not the resources is because I don't really want players customizing the locales. It might seem like a very strange decision, but I promise it's not. Yeah, what's going on with that? Go ahead and mess with this. Yeah, okay, that's to my liking. Yeah, one of the reasons for that is because first, the insides of the shops, while they aren't like they're not like critical they're not critical things, and that alone would usually lend itself to saying, well, okay, as Vardul, why don't you let players use mod that? I mean, that's exactly that's the prototype right thing for modding. I mean, if it doesn't matter, God, man, just let us mod it. And the reason I don't want to do that, it's really more of just I don't want it to happen more than anything else. It wouldn't really add a whole lot, and the shop map in particular, the shop maps are small enough that there, I can't see why you would want to mod them. I mean, if I have a shop map set up in such a way that you can't get around, then that's something that I need to find, not only through my P's and Q's testing that I actually do with the game. I also need to just I also need to let my non-me playtesters see it and give me information. So let's see. Doodad's domestic table is not a thing. Could have sworn I did. Doodad's domestic. Oh, it's dining table. Well, there you go. So yeah, the reason I'm not doing it might seem counterintuitive, might seem unintuitive, might seem stupid, but there's not a lot of real estate in here, and it's not something that I really want players to. It's not like you're well, as far as I know, you're not going to get a out of bounds or warp. I mean, if you're going to get an out of bounds or warp pack, you're going to get it in this guy. This is the point of failure where a speedrunner who's intent on breaking the game can probably figure out a way to do so, but you know, I'm not really concerned about that. I'm concerned about this map being a lively place, and I guess I could make it moddable, but I've still got months of work on this game, so I can always go back and change it later. If you feel these small maps should be moddable, let me know in the comments. If you don't care, just I guess don't say anything, and I'll meditate on it for a while. Let's go back to this. So yeah. Not sure what's going on with this. Yeah, so one of the things I was doing while talking about that was I was placing this table, and it looks like the table should be there. And that trigger is way too big. Huh. It's almost like... Oh, that's why. No wonder the Z coordinate wasn't making it through. That was a typo. Let's try that again. Okay. Looks good. Let's also go ahead and give this man a desk. I'm not going to do too much more of this on screen. This is actually probably going to be the very last of these preloaded doodads that I do on screen for you guys. I can add some other things later, but there's still a lot of doodads I need to make for the game, so it's going to be 4. Yeah. Zero. Alright. Let's see how that goes. And that is turned the wrong direction. Go me. Okay, and I can also go ahead and spin off a chair for it. I guess another thing you all might be asking yourselves right now is, as Vardual, why are you doing this way? I mean, you could just create these items in the editor and set up a instead of doing it through this data way, you could just do it where you're disabling a root object based on the phase, and that would be a lot easier, wouldn't it? Well, yes, but it's more rigid. It's more stuff that's being contained directly within the game. And even though at present I'm not letting like item shops or these locales be modified, one of the thing that's not gonna universally hold true. I mean, all I'm doing is I'm giving it a text pointer. 180 Z5. Yeah, let's try that. I'm going to be just, all this is just a text pointer. Like if, when this gets running, okay, so object script, yeah, this is just pointing to that in the locales. I mean, maybe there are some locales that I want you to be able to modify. I didn't mean to leave the scene there, but that's okay, because I've done everything I wanted to do for the Nuria City item shop. There will be others. Oh yeah, actually it's not everything I wanted to do for the Nuria City item shop. Let's see, so this is the shopkeeper. He has a sprite, he has a trigger. He has a sprite, he has a trigger. I probably need to go ahead and I need to do some things. So first things first, he goes. Now, let's see, prefabs. Yeah, that's in game-specific assets. So I need to go ahead and expose him to the world. Let's go ahead and put him... Let's give him his own folder. The shopkeeper deserves some respect. So this shopkeeper, I'll call him the Nuria City shopkeeper. Let's add his data to this. So he was originally, let's see, Sarah's at 0. He was at 4. Okay. Let's go ahead and add him. And the NPCs are going to be a little bit different because rotation is not something they actually ever do. If any of you guys have seen some of my previous episodes, you'll have seen that pretty much the way sprites work is they don't work through rotation. Instead, you're pretty much spinning off a special kind of state for whatever direction it is they're facing. So in theory, I'm a mod that I might need to do is I might need to like have some special object like this, where I would be able to say state face right, like that. And I'm going to keep that in there just because that's a good idea. And right now the script won't know how to interpret that. So yeah, let's see what happens. Well, that was interesting. We just spawned our NPC into let's go into the thing. Let's push him back a little. Alright, so we have a dynamically loading shopkeeper and shop with only the barest bones in this generic scene. That is going to be powerful. That's going to be awesome. I could work on my scenes on the bus, and by all means, I will. I have a text editor on my phone. Crap, I could be watching my Twitch chat from my phone. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. Damn it. One of these days. Actually, I'm sure I have viewers who know how to do this. If you know of a great app that will let me watch my Twitch chat on my phone, please let me know in the YouTube comments when I push up this episode later on tonight. Pretty please. I'm also probably gonna name this episode something like "How do I Twitch chat" or something, just cause yeah, these damn hackers, why they had to screw with Twitch. My recording setup wasn't perfect, but it wasn't like just god awful either. It was actually working for a time, but whatever. I'm done grumbling. We've got other things to do, like work on the church. Another generic scene. I guess something I could do on screen. I don't want to do a whole bunch of map building. I mean, making this was incredibly repetitive and time consuming, and that's not the sort of viewership experience I want to give to you guys. The rest of this episode, notwithstanding. I guess something I could do that would be a good idea. Let's see, scene change trigger. I have that going to the world map. How about we go back to Blender? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin off a really crappy church that I'm going to replace. So that's 2 by 2. That's going to be a 2 by 2 square. So I want this to be no. Okay, 2 units. Let's see. Needs to be much wider, yeah, because that's about the shape, about the shape of it. Go ahead. I'll go ahead and start working on this on screen with you guys. Now, one of the things that I've done, one of the things I did to make okay, to make the houses a lot better off, was I created what I call some pre-baked textures. And let me go ahead and load one up for you guys. Desktop. I'll have to get to it the hard way, but it's cool. So yeah, stone blocks. That's the one. Color. Yeah, that's good. I guess a flat mapping. Let's take a render right quick. I'll have to mess with it a little bit. It doesn't tile very well either. I really need to mess with these a lot. Let's see. Let's give that a quick render. See how that's looking. Don't think that flat. Let's try cubic mapping. Yeah. I think that's too big. Let's see, City of Nuria. Sure, let's save it. Yeah, so you can see what I've done with the houses right here. There's some mapping artifacts, but let's see what we've got. Looks like we've got yeah, it looks like I've got these set to 2 in the rest of the map, and I want my map to look to look consistent. That's very important. Consistency is what makes your games look amateur. Granted, I am amateur, but I'm not going to tell you guys that. That would be counterproductive. Let's see, it's not a doodad, I think. Church foe the goddess? No, Church of the Goddess. There we go. So let's give it a render. Looks good. I could probably get away with a different sphere mapping. Try that. Heck no, that was a bad idea. Let's go with cube mapping. Okay. It's got glitches, but no, we'll survive. Okay, so let's see. That's 2 by 2, so that's going to be about 2 stories tall. Okay, SX 1.25. Let's go ahead and expand to Z. Let's go ahead and extrude that up by, yeah, 0.8. So sort of what we're going with for now. Let's go ahead and extrude that. Go ahead and then I'll remove doubles. Wherever removing doubles is. There we go. Okay, so it's not going to win any architecture award, ecclesiastical architecture awards, but it doesn't have to. There we go. Okay, and let's see a render. Is that interesting? Okay, so let's go into face edit mode because now I need to go ahead and add the roof texture. Let's see. Okay, so, and here's where the okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing the roof texture for that one. I'm going to be doing it on this one, roof. And just to be funny, I'm going to do it. Yeah. Let's see, sec. Yeah, there we go. Then I'm going to assign it to those. And I'm going to assign that one to that. Let's see. Just for consistency's sake, because I am going to be baking this texture. It may have some ambience ramifications. I'm going to assign that there. Good. Then, let's see. Slide. I think I might have confused Blender. Yeah, I think I managed to confuse Blender. That's really quite a handy capability. Okay, so let's see what direction. Z forward is that way, so we're actually looking at it from the back from here. So yeah, what I'm trying to do, actually, you know what? Screw it. I managed to confuse Blender, and that's kind of bad. It'll be much easier to just add some cubes with the with sort of a brown texture. Let's see. Okay. Crap. Okay. And let's duplicate that. Then we'll duplicate that. 5.75. Okay, let's see what we got. So that's still going to be a brick texture, and that's not what we want. Let's try something a little different. Okay. Then, oh, that's all actually all part of the same thing. Okay, that's cool. That makes my life a lot easier. Okay. See how this renders. I've seen prettier things in my life, but it will serve. Let's see, environment lighting. All right, now we get to unwrap this beast. This needs to be, this is a whole building, so it needs to be a bigger file. Okay. You guys are ready for this. Especially if you're a hardened 3D enthusiast, this may be difficult for you to watch. Or you'll be laughing your head off, one or the other. Oh, this is already going to be interesting, I just know it. For one thing, I need to scale the roof texture. It's too big. Well, there you go. I called it. Go ahead and scale it 16. Bake me a cake worthy of Mordor. I think that'll be a better title. There's a lot less fail in that title. Yeah, okay, that's not so bad. This roof is livable. Now I just need to get the bricks to obey. We'll be fine. Oh. No wonder I did it on the wrong thing. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see. Huh. Can't seem to get rid of it. Oh, well. Let's bake it. Takes a while to bake. But cakes are like that. I don't know why I'm talking about cake. I had a good Easter lunch and or dinner. Let's see. Is that perfect? No. Let's check Unity. It needs to be more. Yeah, because that needs to be a little bit. So I need to do it 16. Okay. Oh, don't tell me I have the wrong thing selected again. Oh, dang it. I did. I was about to say 16 is the same size as the roof. Oh, wait, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Just in case y'all haven't figured it out about me, I'm hard on myself for mistakes, but because I should be better than that, but well, sometimes I'm not. All right, there we go. I've seen prettier things in my life, but I'll be messing with it over the next few weeks. But yeah, using this sort of pre-bake setup, I can easily solve my little church problem here. Why is it re-importing that? That makes no sense. Okay, so let's go to geometry, Church of the Goddess. Apply. Oh wait, that's right. I never actually. Again, I didn't bake the text. You've got to bake the texture. Let's do that. Okay. Let's see. It's not. Just have everything under do. No, I don't. Ah, it's under game objects. That's why. Okay. Go. Let's see. Church. So there it is. Texture. Okay. Okay, I hope y'all are ready for this. I mean, you've already seen it, so you already know how terrible this is going to be. But just in case you haven't for some reason, like not paying attention, if you haven't been paying attention, well, this has probably been the day to not pay attention, to be honest. Yes. Okay, 7, 5. Let's just bump it back to 615.5. I think that's about the same distance back. No, the item shop is like right up to it. Okay, so 15 it is. And so we got shop. This is going to be its own thing. And unlike the things I did earlier, this is going to be a mesh collider. Actually, I never named... well, what do you know? Okay, there we go. It's named. Okay, so mesh is not missing. Got all that. Let's go ahead and spin off a prefab for it. Crap. Actually, this might, yeah, this is geometry. This does not, the prefab does not need to be exposed. The assets that compose it do. So you can see one of the trade-offs I had to make with all of this is I'm going to be trading a little bit of convenience of modability for a little bit more complexity, because now I have to decide, what gets exposed and what doesn't. So that's a thing. But yeah, I think it'll be fine. .292. It's a door with a knocker right now. Actually, let me go ahead and apply that. Okay, so there we go. We now have a church in the town. It's the ugliest thing I think I've ever made, but it's going to have some line of sight issues from behind. Well, it's not the ugliest thing I've ever made. I have these little guys, but yeah. Okay. Now this needs to go to church generic and apply. All right. Let's see how this works. All right. It's about time you saw something pretty in this episode. I think this is one of the better pieces I've written. I'll be honest with you, viewers. Right. So yeah, Church of Nuria. I mean, the city of Nuria has a church, has a castle, has an item shop. These are the basic mechanical things my game needs to function. You need the church because it provides your revives and stuff. You need the shops so that that money you get can be used for the implicit side quest of buying stuff. The castle is just gonna be something a little bit different, actually. It's actually functionally not different from homes. It's where you go to get information about the game. You go there to get quests. You go here to get quests, but definitely go there to get quests and for to continue with quests. Yeah. So yeah, City of Nuria. I'm proud of myself. I think I got some good work done, even if some of it was inexpertly done. Yeah, guess that's what I get for recording on a holiday. Although no, I've recorded on holidays before, and I haven't been. I'm just yeah. I don't know what's going on with me. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, this is probably a good place to end the episode, though. So yeah, what I did over the past week was I worked on a whole bunch of doodads, working on some of the maps, working on the shops and stuff. What I'm going to be doing over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be working on the generic church. I'm going to finish off its geometry. I'm going to start. I'm going to work on some of its doodads. I've already got the church exterior done. Oh, sort of done. That doneness is debatable. Yeah, so I've got the church exterior done. I need to make candelabras, benches, bookshelves, stained glass windows, preferably with pretty dancing beams of light. I need bookshelves. Need to write some code for some for branching based on a remote event, which is going to be a little bit on the interesting side, but I'm sure there's a way to do it. Um, Next week, this coming week, I'm working on that church because the generic church is going to be everywhere in the game. It's ubiquitous. You absolutely need it. Solving it is going to solve a lot of my problems. The week after that, I'm going to be working on the Solumeria Woods. I'm going to be finishing with the geometry on that and getting it proofed. I'm going to be building the Fëanorian vault inside of those ruins that has those fat in-game equipments, and I'll probably start working on the Woden fight. And actually, my next broadcast is probably going to be all about the battle system. It's going to be all about the Woden fight. I'm almost certainly I'm going to be showing part of it off. I might have more or less of it done next Sunday after next than I want, but yeah, that's my goal right now. I'm going to go full steam ahead on finishing the church, getting Solumeria Woods done, and getting the Woden fight because I've wanted the Woden fight in this game for weeks now, and it's about time I delivered on something. Damn it! Right. So I hope you've all enjoyed this broadcast. Be broadcasting again in 2 weeks, and by then I will have figured out the solution to my Twitch issues. If you guys know of any good software on phone that will let me read view my Twitch chat stream, please feel free to add it. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions, I actually read my channel. Feel free to give those, and I will read it, and I'll probably say something back so that you know I've paid attention to it. Yeah. Other than that, I think this has been a broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching, as always. And also, as always, until next time.